All right, this is a trade recap for June 6, 2024. So today was a very good day. Let's go ahead and review the trades and let's do some analysis as well. So the first trade was done on the ES. Now I don't trade the ES that often, um, but it's a pretty slow market. After coming from NQ, trading ES is pretty slow. Another thing I found out on the ES is that the limit orders that you place don't always get filled. Sometimes it touches it, and I just don't get filled. I think it's probably because there's a lot of more volume on the ES or more contracts on the ES than the NQ. So you'll see in this trade where I had issues where I just don't get filled, right? So for example, if I place a target and then the target gets hit and then but it doesn't get filled and then it rolls back and stops me out. So I've seen just stuff like that before with the ES. NQ is a little bit better just because it's more volatile. But ES, you'll see that I place a MIT, market if touch order. So you'll see a yellow marker on the chart where if that price is touched, I'm guaranteed a fill, even though it will be a bad fill, right? Because sometimes it touches it, and then I lose like 3, 4, 5 ticks, which is pretty bad. So I'm kind of reconsidering ES for now. I'll still trade. I'll still trade it, but it's just A, it's slow, and B, getting filled is a little bit tougher than the NQ. But yeah, so let's take a look at this ES trade here. Right at the open, this is about 6:30. I'm looking for a long, and the reason I went for a long here is because you're making a higher high on the 1 minute, the 5 minute. This is the 15 minute and the 30 minute, right? You're breaking a higher high. I also see the POC zones, right, on the 1, the 5, the 15, and the 30 at the low of the bar. Now, even though the 15 hasn't closed yet, and the 30 hasn't closed yet, I felt that this was kind of a good entry on the ES here to take a stab at a long. Now you'll see this yellow line here. This is the MIT, right? So what happens is when the price comes up here, if it touches that price, it'll automatically trigger a buy market, right? And it from my experience, I get bad fills basically. So to combat that, there's nothing really you can do about it really. You can put a limit there, but if it hits, it doesn't always get filled. So yeah, so you'll see me on the ES anyway, use a MIT. So my target's up here. You'll see that I'll later move down here. So I'm looking at the price action here, right? I don't want it to come back down and break the structure right here on the 5 minute, right? It's going from a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So if it breaks this bar here, it's probably going to roll over. Yeah, so I'm monitoring this here. Again, I'm not a very good ES trader, so I'm still trying to kind of study the market a little bit. But in this example right here, I kind of broke even. So let's review this one particular trade here. Now I'm looking at the POC on the 1 and the 5. If it begins to shift, you'll see me moving my target and my stop. Okay, so far so good. I moved my stop at the low of the bar here on the 1 minute. Again, I'm not comfortable with ES right now, so that's why I'm kind of trying to keep the losses small. So this is a good sign on the 1 minute PLC, low the bar. The 5 minute is holding with the PLC low the bar, 15, and the 30 is kind of giving me a little bit of a warning there, right? Because the PLC is a little bit above above the bar there. So I'm kind of watching it. Okay, so let me kind of backtrack a little bit here. So right here. So what got me out of this trade is basically I see this 1 minute bar here, and the PLC, it's not a favorable PLC because it's at the top of the bar here, and usually the one, again, since I don't trade ES that often, I don't know what this tells me really, because on the 1 minute it's still bullish, but I see PLC shifting, right? On the 30 minute, I see the PLC at the top of the bar or pretty high here, which is kind of a negative for a long. Even though the 5 minute it still hasn't closed out on the 5 minute and the 15 minute. Again, the 15 minute also shifted to the top of the bar, which is not good. So I decided to go ahead and move my sell or close out the position at the close here. Once it hits this PLC on the 1 minute here, I decided to go ahead and close it. And that was actually a pretty good decision, because later on you'll see that ES begins to roll over. So yeah, first trade on ES, break even basically, made $7 there, minus including commissions. And then I got kind of bored of watching ES here. Then you'll see me switch over to the NQ. Yeah, ES was just way too slow for me here. So yeah, so now this is the ES. I mean the NQ. So I'm looking for a short here. Now take a look at on the 30 minute here. You'll see it broke resistance here, right? So on the pre-market, you'll see that it came down, bounced off this level right here, came up, bounced off this level here, came up, kind of bounced off this level, but then it broke that level. So what I'm looking for now is a short, right? So yeah, and plus on the 1 minute, it's lower low, lower high, as you can see here. So I'm looking for a short. Now, my primary go-to signal for the short is PLC on the 1 minute, top of the bar, PLC on the 5 minute, top of the bar, 15 minute, top of the bar, 30 minute, top of the bar. So as soon as, I believe I take a short right here, right off the bat. Or I waited a little bit more. Yeah. I was waiting for confirmation. There you go. I put a sell limit right there. I actually wanted to get up here, but that's okay. Again, 30 minute, 15, 5 minute, and the 1 minute still confirms that this is a valid short. So there you go. I'm in one contract. I believe I moved my stop up a little further and my target down a little lower too. Now, yeah, so at this point, I'm watching the price up. Yeah, so I added another contract right there. As soon as it came up to the 5 minute here on the PLC, I took another short here. Now you'll see later on that I take another short right here. So 3 contracts total. So right here, when it comes back up to this level right here, I take another short. I move my stop a little bit further up. And I'm not sure if I left my, yeah, I believe I left my my target there. This is quite a long trade, actually. So my initial stop would have been just above here, but I kind of moved it up here just because sometimes NQ likes to come up here, stop, look for stops up here and then roll over. So that's why I kind of moved it up here. But when it comes up here, and if it kind of holds there and comes up a little further, I would have just gotten out of the position right there. Yeah, so I'm still watching it. So this is my initial target right there, or my entire target was right there. I believe it came down pretty close to it, didn't touch it, pushed back up again. There you go. Missed it by a tick. And then kind of pushed up a little bit higher. Now my target was a bit, I was looking for another short right there. Just another, yeah. So if it comes up here, right, at this particular level right here, right, where it broke the support level, if it comes up here and it can't push it further, you know, you'll be seeing a lot of sellers coming back in, right? So I placed another order right here to go short. So this short right again was this resistance line here where it got broken, right, at the beginning of the open. There you go. I'm in 3 contracts now. So I'm looking at this level here on the 5-minute very closely, right? If it breaks this zone right here, this POC zone that was created on the 5-minute, if it breaks it, I want to see what happens when it breaks it, right? If it comes through, comes back, and then kind of, you know, range bound a little bit further, then I was planning to just exit just because that's not the reaction I'm looking for, right? And I would have closed out the position. Now I kind of moved up there again, like I said earlier. NQ likes to come up, test this area here, take out those stops, and then rolls over. And that's why I kind of moved it up a little bit. So I don't move my target. I left it there because it came and tested it. Right, I was pretty confident that it will come back and take that, take my target there. So I see PLC shifted on the 1-minute, right? And take a look at this, the 30, the 15, the 5 PLC again, top of the bar, right? I see positive delta, which is good for me because buyers are pushing it up, but delta is going up, but you know, price is not following it, right? So this is what I like to see, right? PLC top of the bar, positive delta, positive delta, positive delta, positive delta. So it's beginning to so sellers pushing it down, but buyers keep wanting to push it up, and prices doesn't go up, right? So a little bit of an exhaustion here, trying to break this level. Okay, so there's the rejection. There's one rejection right there. Again, POC, top of the bar, right? At every single chart that you see here, which is good for me because, you know, deltas are going up, but price is not following it. There you go. There's some still waning. Okay, came down to this level right here of support. Buyer stepped in, but so buyer stepping in here, but POC never shifted, right? Still top of the bar on every single chart that you see here. And there you go. It finally got exhausted. Sellers came in, filled my position. Now, you guys see where I placed my my target, right? It was the POC on the 1-minute. Now you'll see that this level right here held pretty good for most of the morning, and then you'll see buyers come in and try to push it up here. So that was actually a very good short there because everything played out, right? POC still top of the bar, 60-minute, 30-minute. POC still top of the bar, 15-minute. POC still top of the bar, 5-minute. Same thing with 1 minute. So everything lined up. So that was my that's one of my favorite trade here. Is basically all 4 charts confirmed. So I did take one more trade here. Now let's analyze this trade here, right? So again, it's testing this level again, right? Where it broke out, right? This was originally support, came down, hit support, came down, hit support, came down, hit support, and then it broke support. Now it becomes resistance, right? Now take a look at this entry here. So I was looking for a short because why? Well, 30 minute POC top of the bar inside a zone that I'm looking for. On the 15 minute, same thing. POC top of the bar in a zone that I'm looking for. On the 5 minute, same thing. POC top of the bar in a zone, and same here in a zone. So everything's lining me up for a short here. Now take a look at what happened. So some people asked me about this. So if the POC top of the bar, but the close of the bar is above the POC, do you take that trade? The answer is no. I don't take the trade, but I look at the lower time frame to see what happens when it comes back and tries to test the POC again. So as you can see on this 5 minute bar here, or the 1 minute even, it broke up. POC is top of the bar in every single chart that you see here, but the POC is below the close of the price, right? So on a 5 minute, you can definitely see that, right? The close is above the POC on the 5 minute where the bar closed. Same thing on the 15, same thing on the 30. So normally I would not take this trade, but I look on the 1 minute. On the 1 minute, it'll tell me whether there's exhaustion or not, right? So this 1 minute bar closed, came back, touched the POC, pushed up, okay? I believe it came back down and then pushed up again. Now on the third try, 1, 2, 3, on the third try, the POC is top of the bar here, right? So I'm waiting for this 1 minute to confirm that, hey, this is an exhaustion. This POC that closed below the close, buyers are no longer there, right? So what happens is, I believe this thing rolls over. Let's play here. So you'll see a negative bar come in on the 1 minute. You'll see exhaustion. So if buyers are really in control here, right, I would expect this thing to shoot up to the open, right? But it never does. You'll see that this 1 minute bar here gives you a negative delta divergence, right? And this is a very, very cheap trade, and I'll explain why, right? So there you go. It comes in. I'm waiting for the 1 minute to close and see what happens. Okay, so you see exhaustion there, right? So right there, it came up. Buyers are still trying to push it up, but delta, but the close is below the open, right? So this is massively exhaustion. This is going to generate what's known as a delta divergence, where delta is positive, but the bar closed below the open. Now this is a pretty good signal to go short, because I can see that at the POC, right, on each of the bars, that it was below the close, but it was top of the bar. So I waited for the 1 minute to confirm that, hey, this is exhaustion. Now, my stop, if I'd taken this trade, well, I did take the trade, but my stop would be just above this rejection bar on the 1 minute. Very, very cheap trade. My target would have been at this point of control zone right here. And yeah, it played out nicely. Okay, it came back. It tested it. It tested the PLC. I took a short right here. Now my stop would have been just above this bar here. Very, very short. I think it's a $40 loss if I was wrong, but I could be making over $100 if it comes down and tags this zone here. And there you go. As soon as it comes out and tests that that PLC, right? I entered the short. My stop was just a little bit up here on top of this bar, but my target was down here on this 1 minute zone here. So this is a very cheap trade, right? A very good risk reward there. And then I believe I trailed this on the 1 minute. Yep, right there. So it's coming pretty close. So normally what happens is when it gets close to my target, you'll see me move my stop pretty close to the target there. There you go. I moved it. So I moved it initially at the PLC at the top. Again, sellers are in control here, right? PLC on the 60 top of the bar. PLC on the 15 top of the bar. PLC here is kind of middle of the bar, but it's a down bar, so that's giving me confidence that this trade will work out, right? And then I'm moving my stop, right? So locking in the profit. There you go. Tag the PLC on the 1 minute, and I was out. So this is a good for those that have a small account. You can take a good risk to reward trade by looking at the 1 minute, right? As long as the other 3 charts confirm that that's a good trade, right? You're risking very little, but your target was quite a bit. Now you'll see if you guys go back to today's chart that it actually comes all the way down to here. Right now, I exited just because I see on the 5 minute right here, you'll see that the PLC is at the low of the bar here. So normally when I see that and I see negative delta, right, I see buyers coming in on the 5 minute, right? So that's the reason I kind of exit this particular zone. Now, if I had 2 contracts, which if I feel really comfortable with it, I can put in 2 or 3 contracts. In this example, I only did 1, but if you had 2 contracts, you could kind of just trail that a little bit and target this PLZ zone right here. Yeah, so I see buyers stepping in here, right? But if you guys go back to your chart there, you'll see that it actually came all the way down here to the 61% retracement there. Anyway, that's the analysis and comment for today's trade, June 6, 2024.